hard to admit when you're wrong. I knew I had to make a change, and I guess I'm finally ready to say I was wrong. Hey guys, welcome in. Today I want to talk to you about my sales between April 1st and April 14th and tell you about a change that I have made in my business that I have avoided for 25 years of reselling. Yeah, it's true. So over the last few weeks, I've been making some changes to my reselling business. And so I didn't do a what sold video for you because I wanted to give it a little bit more time to see where I stood. But let's go ahead and delve right into eBay for the period of the first 2 weeks in April and see how we did. Between April 1st and April 14th, you can see that I sold $3,273.25. If you follow me, you know that my goal is to have $2,000 a week as a minimum, and so obviously that's a little on the light side. Now, I have changed up my business in that I do an auction every single Saturday on YouTube, and that definitely helps with my income, but I still am looking for something else to give me that little extra something. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the items like $20 and higher that sold over the last 2 weeks so you can get an idea of what I'm actually selling. Costumes. Believe it or not, you can still sell costumes all year long. People love doing cosplay and dressing up and doing little costume parties and things. This particular Batgirl costume actually had a price on it of $19.99, but it was the only one like it on all of eBay. I pretty much priced it at the retail price, and it sold within a day of me listing it, plus shipping. I have to say that this hat I've had on eBay for quite a while. It did sell for $20.66. It is a new with tags 1996 Olympics hat. So kind of interesting, kind of like a neat item. I did not go any lower on it because I really thought eventually somebody was going to want it, and they did for $20.66. A couple weeks ago, I did go to a thrift store and they were having a bag sale for their plush, and I found like 6 Scentsies in there, really unique ones, including this one. He is Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, and he sold for $25.16. And I also sold this little Scentsy Labrador. He is so sweet, for $24.26. I had actually never seen either of those Scentsies before, so I was pretty happy to pick those up. This item is a lawsuit. If you look at the listing, I spelled it wrong. Oh my gosh, that just goes to show you it's not about perfection, it's about getting the items up there. I wanted to show this one. Number one, it sold for $24.26. Career wear is making a comeback. People are going back to the office. We're getting out of the super casual wear that a lot of people were wearing over the last few years. So suits are coming back into fashion, career wear. So don't be afraid to list those up on eBay. This sold for $24.26. Swimsuits. Guys, it's time. Swimsuits are selling really, really quickly right now. This one is a Maxine of Hollywood, which is a great swimsuit. All of them that I had, I think I've now sold, and all of them sold pretty much at ask price of $29 plus shipping. So I was super happy to get that sale. Sandals also, it's time. I know it's snowing in Colorado still, but sandals are also starting to sell really well. These ones with my Dealing with Dalton's shoehorns in them sold for $31.45. You know those real estate, you can make a fortune selling real estate. This is one of those sets. This one actually I picked up at a yard sale. It was brand new. Everything was still sealed. I didn't know if it would sell, but I was like, wow, I'm going to take a chance on it. I think I paid $2 for it. And it took about a month, but it sold for $31. Not bad. Hats. Oh, I went to a church sale and it was the very last second they were starting to put everything away, like to go to charity. And they had a lot of these fancy Easter hats. I sold 2 this week. This one for $26.95. And I sold this one for $30.55. I have been really surprised at how well these sold. I think I picked up like 15 hats and I paid $20 for all of them. Well, gosh, one of these sales paid for all of those hats and they have been selling. Mom said, get them on right away. It was right before Easter, but between Easter and Mother's Day, people are liking the idea of wearing derby hats. And so, yeah, sold 2 this week. A lot of times I won't pick up handmade plush, but this one came in a bundle lot with a bunch of other things. But I put it up there because it was like this neat patchwork, handmade, really nice teddy bear, very nice quality. It sold for $29.66, which really surprised me. They left me glowing feedback and they said they loved it. So I was really happy about that. So I ended up losing money on this item, guys, and I rarely do that. I was going to the Amazon bins. It's kind of like an Amazon return store. And on the first day, items are $14 with tax. It's about $15 for it. So I bought this on that day. I ended up selling it for $30.55 plus $10 shipping. The shipping was $11 for it, so that's not good. By the time I paid eBay fees and promoted listings, and the shipping, I made $19, but wait, minus $15 for the cost of the item, and my profit is $4. Okay, so maybe that's not losing money, but isn't your time worth money too? So time value of money, yeah, I'm in the red for this one. Oh well. I sell another pair of sandals. Sandals time. Merrell's $24.74, sold for full price and just a few days after listing them. I picked up these signs. This one was actually pretty big size. It's one of these Plymouth, meant to look vintage, but it's like a metal sign. I picked these up actually at Hobby Lobby at 75% off. I don't know why. I just got this urge to buy them. I think it was $5 when I picked it up, which is usually more than I would spend on something like this. And it sat for a year. But when it finally sold, this one and one just like it sold in the same week for $30, $31 a piece. So I was happy to pick them up, but it was a really long tail sale. Y'all know I sell a lot of clothing, but normally my clothing is between $12 and $20. But I did want to show you that I did sell something above that. Citizens of Humanity slim bootcut jeans. I was very happy that these sold for $35.95. What? Yay. So happy for something that's a little higher end. Mom picked these up. These are really cool. It's these 2 vintage Rebel Corvettes. They're like models. Mom paid $5 for the set and we sold it for $40.45, and I think it only took a few days to sell it, so I was pretty happy about that. This was another one of my bin store finds. I was going like every week, y'all, and I've learned that my profit is super low on most of these items when all is said and done. Okay, so this was a Chi round brush. It sold for $47.66, but I had to pay shipping, which was $10 on top of all my fees, plus $15 for the item. Not great profit, but I did want to show you. Listen, you can make really good deals at those Amazon return store, but really check all of your fees involved once you pay all the eBay fees. I promote real high on eBay. So when all is said and done, it's usually better for me to buy the cheaper items than to pay the $14 for an item. Here's a perfect example. I went on Dollar Day and found this item right here. It was not in a box. It's called a torque valve actuator. I had no idea what it was, as most parts that I pick up, but it was $1. So I stuck that thing in my cart. I was happy to get it, brought it home, and I did not sell it for $80. I did sell it for $40, which I'm fine with. It was $1. So that's $1 into 40. That's a much better deal than me spending $15 for something I'm gonna make maybe $8. Much better deal. Oh, I don't normally do a lot of vintage clothes because I just don't know a lot about it, but I loved this sweater when I saw it. It was a Leroy knitwear, something I never heard of, but it was a cardigan and it had this awesome belt. And guys, it sold for the full price of $49.45. Was so happy to get that sale. Now this particular one was a good sale from the Amazon return store. I did sell this for full price at $116, free shipping, but it was only $9 to ship it. So I ended up with like almost $70 in profit. There you go. Those are the kind of Amazon returns that I need to be focusing on. Stop trying to get things just because I think they're cool chi hairstyling things or whatever, and focus on the things that are going to bring in more money. Then my daughter's Sector 9 longboard that I bought her in the 8th grade. I paid a bunch of money for this, and she said, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to give it to somebody. And I said, hello, I paid for that. Why don't you give it back to me? And she did. I was happy about that because she didn't want it anymore. She's 22, and I guess she thinks she's too cool for the skateboard anymore. But I did sell it for the full asking price of $125.96. It did go to Oregon, but it was only $16 to ship it, which I was thrilled with considering it was 42 inches long. So that was really good profit for something that I bought a long time ago and just recoup some of that money. So yay. So let's chat, y'all. You see that my sales have been down. The numbers just aren't where they used to be, whether it's a product of my not doing enough for my business or the economy is bad, for whatever reason. I just needed to make a change in my business, and I wanted to find out what would be the best thing to try to increase sales without a ton of extra work. So guys, I decided to do something that I swore I would not do in my business, and that is cross-listing. So I tried cross-listing in the past and it just wasn't for me because the software wasn't real intuitive, but it's been a super long time. Now, after researching cross-listing products, I decided to go with who I thought was the best one, and that is Vendoo. And the reason I love Vendoo is not only are they an extension, so you don't have to open up tons of tabs, the ease of use was amazing, and they're completely mobile friendly. So you can actually be sitting in the car line waiting for the kids, and you can be cross-posting all of your listings onto so many different formats. But the biggest test of all for me and for my business was whether Mom could do it. Mom was able to be taught how to do Vendoo in under 5 minutes. And in the last 2 weeks, she has single-handedly cross-listed 1,500 items herself. It's amazing. I'm so proud of her. But the real test for me is if me and Mom are investing time in our business doing cross-listing, are we getting sales that we wouldn't normally get on eBay? So let's take a look and see what you think. So these are our sales from Mercari just in the last 2 weeks. Now remember, we didn't have all these listings up immediately, so it took a while. We are building as we go. So far on Mercari in the last 2 weeks, we have had 6 sales. The great thing about all of these sales, guys, is these are all old listings on eBay that have been on for 6 months or more, and they've already sold on Mercari. So Mercari has added an extra $98 to my sales over the last 2 weeks. Not bad for just starting out, but the real key for me has been Poshmark. I am so impressed with how many sales I've had on Poshmark. Let's take a look. In the last 2 weeks, we have made 18 sales on Poshmark. All old clothing that had been listed on eBay for a while. So how much extra did I sell on Poshmark in the last 2 weeks? Exactly $300. So the question always is, will my Vendoo pay for itself to make it worthwhile for me to continue cross-posting? And at $400 in 2 weeks of extra income, I would say heck yes. I would love for you to do the test as well. You can actually click the link below and sign up today for 25% off your first month. Let's go ahead and do this challenge together and see how you do on your first 2 weeks on Vendoo. That's my sales for the first 2 weeks in April. Hopefully the second 2 weeks is going to bring even more sales. Remember, consistency is key. Make listing and cross-posting a priority and you will keep seeing your sales grow every single week. Have a great day. Bye.